She was very good at school, she did everything. Perfect. She went to university, got a degree. Excellent. Never let her education be troubled by a social life. And certainly didn't let her education interfere with her social life. Both ways really. So. As I said, I met Claire when she was a 5-year-old, so you might have thought I missed out with the dribblings and the sick. The teenage years soon sorted that out. I suppose I've got work. Well, I'll carry on with Claire. The teenage years is also parents that realise it can be pretty traumatic. I've been offered good money to tell a few stories, but I've also been offered threats. So I won't say too much. There was one, I think there's one that I will mention, really traumatic, and when she came home and gave me a terrible revelation, which you had to get used to. I consulted psychiatrists and counsellors and things like that, and the psychiatrist said, if she's a Middlesbrough fan, there's no hope. Anyway, well, I suppose it's got welcomed here to the family. He's been an integral member of our family now for 3-4 years. And he's fitted in really, really well. He's extremely nice lad. He's convinced his mother-in-law, which is a hard thing to do. That's why I'm standing out there at a kicking range. So he's fitted in really nice, and I've just got to say he's a credit to his parents, Nick and Gillian. So I've got to remember that. And I think that's about me, man. So the family, just kind of to the family, please raise your glasses and first up.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. To welcome you both. I'd like to say to you all, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of my wife and I, I would like to thank you all for coming and sharing our very special day. I'm now going to take full advantage of this because normally I can't get a word in edgeways, so I don't let her talk on her behalf. Some of you have travelled a long way to celebrate our big day, and we very much appreciate it. We'd like to start by mentioning those who are missing. Other than, obviously, my mum, we're also missing my granddad and Claire's nan, who are both ill, both not here due to old age and ill health. But we all know that they're here in spirit, and leave more room for the rest of us. I've got a number of thank yous to say, so please bear with me. The first and biggest goes to Claire, not only for putting up with me so long, but also for agreeing to do it for longer. Until recently, I didn't really realise how much work goes into a day like today. This became very much apparent about 2 or 3 days ago when Claire gave me 7 boxes of stuff to bring down to the venue, which consisted of the lovely jams that you see in front of me, and quite a few different presents as well. And I'm sure you can see that it was very well spent. Myself and Claire met around about 6 years ago in Ashby on a night out. But I'm going to leave the majority of that story to the best man's speech. Soon after that, we were basically inseparable, and she hasn't been able to get rid of me ever since. I soon realised just how popular Claire is, as our calendar is now booked up from around about 2 months in advance, which I find particularly difficult, seeing as I can't organise myself for tomorrow, let alone 2 months out. But after all said and done, I wouldn't change it for the world. And I think everybody in this room today will agree with me when I say that she looks absolutely beautiful today. I really am a lucky man and can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you. Now, you should all still have some drink left in your glasses, so I'd like you to raise your glasses to Claire. In seeing this wonderful woman next to me, I must say thank you to Claire's parents for the magnificent job they've done in bringing Claire up to be such a beautiful, intelligent and kind-hearted person. Ever since myself and Claire have been together, you've all made me very welcome into the house and made me feel at home. I would also like to thank both of you for allowing me to marry your amazing daughter. I love Claire with all my heart, and I will do everything I can to make her happy. In front of you all today, you'll notice the lovely jams which I mentioned earlier. These have all been made by Claire's mum Jean, who has slaved to create these masterpieces. To show you that, we've got a little something for you. Thank you very much. Now, what's the place? There we go. Please raise your glasses again for a toast to Paul, Jean, and Kevin. You'll notice there's quite a few toasts today, so please, it's just because I like getting people drunk, as anybody who's been to our day will understand. Then, on to my dad. What can I say? Always there, dependable, cooks a cracking Sunday roast with enough wine to comfortably drown him. I hope that one day myself and Claire will make just as good parents as you and your mum were to us. As most of you know, my mum passed away nearly 7 years ago, which is obviously a very sad time for us. But nevertheless, I'm sure that if she was here today, she would be unmeasurably proud of how well her boys have done, and would also love Claire just as much as the rest of us, although they never got to meet. Like I said earlier, today has taken a lot of hard work and wouldn't have been possible without help from a lot of people in the room today. These obviously include bridesmaids, ushers, page boys and flower girls, who I'm sure you will agree have done an amazing job today. I'm sure I'm not the only man in this room that thinks that it's a bit of a mystery what the bridesmaids' duties actually are. If these include bringing Claire and themselves here looking absolutely perfect in every way, then Emily and Lizzie have done an absolutely perfect job. Yay! And to say thank you, we've got a couple of little bits and pieces, the two of you. If you'd like to come up. We also have a few little tokens that we'll give out a bit later for the so-called best men, page boys and flower girls. Thank you all for your help and being so supportive for us for so long. So if you'd like to raise your glasses once again to the bridesmaids, ushers, flower girls, and page boys, or as I like to call them, the high hell. Now, all that remains to say now is a little something about the best man. I'm not quite sure I was actually thinking when I actually asked them to do this job. Looking back at it now, it was probably quite a bad move. Not only did they have full access to all my old baby photos, and they know everything embarrassing that I've ever done, which you'll probably be seeing on that screen. So when listening to them, please bear in mind that they are both compulsive liars, And Buck especially suffers from extreme overactive imagination. And Tom, just one thing to remember. 1 year today is your wedding. So on that note, I would like to pass over to Tom and Buck, the so-called husband.
Good to know. Hi again, everybody. I didn't quite know this room would be mic'd up like this. I thought some of you would probably get away with hearing a lot of the speech. Andy's at the back. He wouldn't have got the jokes anyway, I wasn't that bothered. So, Dave's marrying a girl. Beautiful too. Dazzling bride. Well done there, Dave. I'd like to thank Dave for putting me in this position, the dubious position of controlling Buck. I'll try, but I'll probably fail. No promises can be made. I put everything he can't say in this book. So yes, that was a reference point.
If I start straying away from the script, I'll just, whatever's highlighted in red, I'll just swiftly move on, or read it, one of the two.
Yeah, but look at some of the things I had to put in the book. So, Dave not making it past 11 o'clock on the first night of his stag. Is anyone remember that? Yeah, wasn't it? The obligatory bra hunting on the second night of the stag, successfully. Saying that 1 in 3 men are meant to be gay.
Well, there's 3 brothers and it's not us.
You can't say that. You can't say that, Bug. It makes you look homophobic. I mean, your mom's here, June and David are here from Kent.
Oh, come on, David's not gay, is he?
Moving swiftly on.
Jokes apart, though, this is the most expensive cover-up I've ever been to.
Moving on. We move on to the main attraction. We split this speech into multiple stories about the qualities of Dave. The first story being Dave and Casanova, how they met.
Music on top. Let me tell you a love story. About Claire and Dave met. Picture the scene. It was a Saturday night in the summer of 2008. What was the exact date, Dave? That's why getting snapped up first. Tom, Dave and I were having a social couple of pints in a small, quaint market town that even had its own castle.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Are you talking about Gashby?
It's pronounced Ashby de la Zouche. It's twinned with the town of Trevillis in the north centre of France. Later on that night, we ventured into a famous exotic club in the heart of Ashby.
Whoa, are you talking about Kairos? More like infamous. In fact, I don't ever recall being there. Is anyone else? No. Okay, actually, there might have been a few social pints that night, like I said, Kairos. But those social pints might have been a bit strong, so on with the story.
It's pronounced Kairos. We went in there long out of nowhere, Claire and Dave's well drunken eyes met.
No way. No way. Claire couldn't see. She was actually... These couple of social points had gone right to hers and Dave's head. Claire grabbed him.
Alright, okay. Anyway, they noticed each other's existence and appeared to be inseparable.
Yeah, completely inseparable. Not even flying bottles, fists, bits of chaff being scattered over the right next to their heads could stop them snogging.
Alright, okay. Sorry Dave, music off. I can't make this look romantic. Tom's right, it's a bit of a shambles. Anyway, after After a bit of canoodling, Claire proceeded to escort Dave out of Kairos to what I can only presume to a romantic kebab shop round. Dave the Hunk does it again.
Dave the Hunk. On a serious note, these two really do complement each other. The union made that night really is great on the sum of the two parts. We've all really enjoyed watching their relationship flourish over the last couple of years, the combination of which being the event we find ourselves in today. Claire is a legend, she can always make you smile. Both of them are 100% dependable. Dave is an example of someone who's always willing to help, always, and that's how we come on to the next story. Dave, always willing to help. You might not know this, but Dave is the dark horse brother. He covers it well, he does. But, for example, you might not know, but he's the only Coombs brother to have ever made it into a riot van on a night out. Strangely enough, he managed to achieve this accomplishment by actually trying to help out. Always the fall guy. He walks past a fight in Ashby High Street. Probably the same guys he met on the 26th. The police were in the process of wrestling some shabby scums to the floor, which causes the police officer's helmet to fall on the floor. Helpfully, Dave wanders over and picks up the helmet, offering it to the police officer. The police decided he was up to no good and retaliated, but will now reenact. This is a police helmet. We have to use our imaginations. Put the helmet down! So, we all couldn't stop laughing. I think a few people here were there because we thought he was probably going to get tased. He didn't, but he did get a strong talking to in a riot van. Love it. Story 3. Dave the Hunk. We've been told on several occasions that Dave is the hunk of the brothers. And I can see it. For example, I remember the only fight that Dave's ever had, how serious it was. Picture the scene. Dusk. 99p flakes and screwballs were aplenty. It was payday. We'd had our 50p pocket money. We were willing to spend at the ice cream van. The van when we brought ice creams, sweets, gone off beer. Small village. It happened in those days. I don't know. While this was happening, out of nowhere, Dave's nemesis touched his bike. This was going to be some serious shit. I knew how serious it was. It was snowballing out of control. Sorry. There was nothing I could do to suppress Dave's fury. I could tell he was really in fury when he asked Bug, who was 5, to hold his cola bottle. To be fair, the build-up was great in the action. Dave rolled over in a flower bed, fighting for a few minutes. Then he probably fancied another cola bottle or a little bit of warm gone-off beer. And Dave's hunk-like status was secured.
Sometimes Dave's hunk-like abilities, he uses it to help his friends out. We've all heard of Loz the legend. One night out, Loz got a little bit too involved with someone's girlfriend. The trouble was averted by Dave's head when the guy tried to lamp Loz. Not really mates. Still me. Dave the fall guy. Since we were little kids, Dave's always been the fall guy. If anything can go wrong, it will go wrong today. Middle brother always takes the rap. Going back about 20 years now, it was the summer holidays and we collected a long length of rope, a ratchet and the remains of an old cast iron winch. Obviously, the only thing to do was make a zip line. It's the summer holidays. The world's your oyster. The 2 trees we selected for the zip line were slightly too far apart for the length of rope we selected. We found a bit of baler twine to make up the difference. Same as houses. Deep down, we knew at some point that the rope will break. But at the same time, deep down, we knew that Dave's the fall guy. he was a fat kid and naturally Sure enough, after a Dave's flawless zip lining, the rope went. Dave fell about 10 feet, but luckily the winch was unharmed because Dave's head broke its fall. As Dave was made of rubber and magic back then, he recovered within a few minutes and was back at the ice cream van fighting. Other examples of Dave's ability to do himself over. Falling off a pogo stick and actually managed to take a chunk out of his knee. How's that even possible? He found a way, because he's the fall guy. Once he managed to fall down the stairs holding a freshly sharpened pencil. Obviously, he nutted it. Still got a tattoo to show for it every day. Mike, you'll know this one. You remember Dave vomiting on a table while trying to lose at poker to Dad? Only Dave could do that. Claire knows this one. After a night out, David had a few drinks, went to bed. He started being sick off the side of the bed while crying. While crying. I've all been quite drunk, but that's a bad place to be. However, Dave wasn't always a fall guy. And I took the rap, well, once. I was 4 years old. I was standing next to a large gate at the end of the driveway. Dave comes thrashing around the corner and on his push bike. He was shouting something. It sounded like, "I've got no brakes." Life was confusing at that age, so I stood a little bit closer to the gate. Dave was still shouting, "Bug, move." I was too young and stupid to understand the chain of events unfolding in front of me. Before I knew it, Dave was carrying me inside to confess to Mum that he'd broken a bug. After 22 years, I don't think the scars are going to go away now. Just off Santa Day, obviously. Luckily, no lasting damage. Oh, apart from sometimes at family weddings I get Tourette's. So on to story 4, Dave the Diplomat. Dave has often been able to talk his way out of a situation. One such situation occurred when Dave was going through a boy racer stage. I think this picture, never mind, we'll skip the picture, describes the situation well. Dave had a really chapped up Citroen Saxo. As with all boy racers, his attitude far exceeded his... There it is. Maybe not the exact one, but similar. As with all boy racers, his attitude exceeded his driving ability. 180 nearly everywhere. Time for a world exclusive unveiling. Dave controversially wrote off the said Troutmobile, but Dave was not driving the car. James Davis, where are you? James Davis's brother Gareth was actually driving the car. Dave let drive the car and actually let that pass. He's such a nice guy. Dave's kept this secret since the age of 19. It's torn away at him. Dave will be mortified that Dad knows the truth, but we feel he's learned his lesson. The deep mental scar has meant he can only drive diesel cars from now on.
I think my brother still owes you a beer for that, doesn't he?
I'll buy you a beer. Dad won't. Okay, so we spare a thought for members of the family who couldn't be here. Our thoughts are with our mum, who's already been mentioned. She will no doubt be very, very proud of Dave on this very special day, and you as well, Claire.
A quick note from the Alpha and Omega, Idris Evans, Gramps, all the way from Brighton, unable to be here today and quite pissed off about it. To Mrs. and Mrs. Coombs, Mr. and Mrs. I hope you're enjoying this very important day in your lives. I'm so sorry I'm unable to be with you and shall be following the events of the day in my mind and will be with you in spirit. I hope to see you both in Brighton soon. In the meantime, have a wonderful honeymoon. Lots of love, Gramps.
Something said, you don't marry somebody you can live with, but somebody you can't live without. You're both getting someone who can always make you laugh, no matter what life throws at you. You have a relationship built on a solid friendship. I can't think of two more loyal people who deserve each other better. It's fantastic that we're here today. We wish you the very best in the journey that life has set for you. We think you're a perfect match in that you're so committed to each other and you have fun doing it. My advice is to forgive the little things and keep having that fun. Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding and charge your glasses for the bride and groom, Mr. and Mrs. Coombs.
Mr. and Mrs. Coombs.